When you get fighters like Anthony Joshua, who are really built up into something, when they eventually fall, which ironically AJ said he was going to do for the last year or two, he says, I'm going to lose at some point. There's an aspect in human nature that just really wants to stick the boot in, and you have a lot of people claiming now, oh, he was never any good, even though they didn't actually believe that. Now, Sky Sports were guilty of, you could say, over-promoting in a way, if there is such a thing, or just a bit over-praising, polishing those boots, that a lot of people got sucked in, even usually very measured analysts like Tony, shall we say, Anthony Bellew now, who was trying to tell us that Joshua was more complete than he actually is. Those who knew their boxing could see that this was a guy who had flaws that Andy Ruiz really did exploit. But nonetheless, people are taking this too far. They're saying so many people beat Anthony Joshua now in the top 10. It's getting out of hand. For one, it disrespects what AJ did in just, was it 22 fights, becoming a unified champ without that much amateur experience, beating some very good fighters. Older Klitschko, yeah, it was still a very good victory. Povetkin, Parker, he did very well. And secondly, it disrespects Andy Ruiz's deconstruction job. A lot of people are just saying you just have to walk forward to beat AJ. Are you crazy? That's what he expects. Well, that's what he normally wants you to do, and then he takes your head off. The reason Ruiz was able to get through that is, one, he's got a great chin. Two, he's very skillful at that range. And three, possibly most importantly, he was so composed under fire. If you watch that sequence again in the third round, where AJ dropped him, then he got up, Ruiz's eyes are completely locked on AJ, just thinking, right, what do we do? He wasn't panicking. 99% of other fighters who were given that massive shot in New York City, the world would have got very small at that point, and they would have thought, shit, I've been handed the script. You know, I'm probably going to get beat now. Not Ruiz. He was very grounded, and he was looking all the time. He even got hit with that big right hand, but he was still thinking, right, duck, and then he landed that great left hook. Very few, perhaps no other fighters at that range in the top 10 would have been able to do that. I've heard Dillian White's brother recently saying, yeah, we would have done the same thing. It's like, no, I very much doubt it. What Ruiz did was a combination of him having much better amateur experience, being a very grounded, very skillful fighter who executed a very tight game plan and even had to come through a very rough period himself. So we need to get a bit of perspective here. AJ does need to change a lot in the rematch. We know this. The list is growing of people who are saying an immediate rematch is a bad idea. You know, lose some muscle. He's really got to work on his straight shots. He's got to just try and bust him up, not get over-eager. Don't even think about the knockout. It's a lot to change. But even if he were to lose the rematch, let's not try and stick the boot in too hard. If it's all over after the rematch, he still goes down as an excellent heavyweight champion.